How about that class of 2025? Look at them. Whoa! Look at them. Ladies, you are beautiful today. Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to our 2024 Cap and Gown Convocation celebrating the class of 2025. I am so pleased to greet so many family and friends who are here to support our great class. I am also pleased to welcome so many alumni, including our 50th reunion class of 1974. Any 74s here? Let's see the 74s. There they are. Our 60th reunion class of 1964. 64s are here. And I know we have, I'm not sure if she's here or will be coming, we have members of the class of 1949 celebrating their 75th reunion. They will be with us for lunch, I believe. So the great Trinity story stretches across many, many generations. And one of the traditions we are just so pleased to continue is the tradition of the cap and gown. And we're so happy we're able to share that during Alumni Reunion. 125 years ago, a small group of courageous and visionary women, Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur, had a radical, indeed it was a revolutionary idea back then, to create the first Catholic college for women in the United States, developed on the order, yes, clap for that, yes, cheer for that. They developed Trinity on the order of the great women's colleges that preceded it, colleges like Wellesley, Smith, Vassar, Bryn Mawr, and others. Sisters Julia McGroarty and Mary Euphrasia Taylor carried the spirit of their congregational founder, St. Julie Billiart, into the founding of Trinity College on August 20th, 1897. And if you look to the transept over there, that's St. Julie Billiart with a young student, and she is one of our great heroines in the story of Trinity and the Sisters of Notre Dame. She was very courageous. You know, the bishop criticized her for being too loud and too revolutionary, so she decided to leave France and go to Namur to continue her work. Rather than being silenced, she just found a new place to do it. And we take that idea with us all the time, don't we? So if you can't do it one place, you do it another, and you get going. As we gather today, we are mindful of the great debt we owe to the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur. We thank them not only in words, but in the lives we live that give witness to the wisdom and worth of the mission we have inherited from them. I am so pleased to welcome one of the great Sisters of Notre Dame who is on our campus and does such fabulous work, our wonderful Director of Campus Ministry, Sister Ann Howard. Sister Ann.
Thank you, President. Thank you, President McGuire, and good morning, everyone. Good morning and congratulations to the class of 2025 for reaching your cap and gown moment. Receiving your regalia means that graduation is approaching, but not yet. It's a reminder that you need to keep to your path and renew your enthusiasm for learning each day. When we look around at Notre Dame Chapel, we see a statue of Mary, a lovely mosaic of the crowning of Mary. We see gospel stories that feature Mary in the beautiful stained glass windows. And notice the rosettes in those windows. These are all symbols of Mary, Jesus' mother, Mary. The entire chapel is dedicated to her. Notre Dame is the name for Mary, Notre Dame, Our Lady. So Notre Dame Chapel, where we sit, harbors us together this morning on your convocation. So let us look around at one another. Members of the class of 25, your professors, your supportive family members and friends, your faculty members, your staff, all of us here today to recognize this moment in your life, which is so close to your graduation time. And we ask Mary to bless you. Another person, Sister Raphael of the Sacred Heart, played a huge role in orchestrating the work of this building being built 100 years ago. Today we're celebrating the 100th year of the dedication of this particular chapel. And the early Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur, as President McGuire has just spoken of, exercised vision and thoughtful care in pulling together material aspects for this chapel. Surely they founded the Catholic Women's College 125 years ago, which we are celebrating this year. It's a very momentous time for us at Trinity. The building is impressive, a sacred space, but you provide the spark, the reason for being. And we celebrate you today in this convocation. So parents, families, friends of the class, congratulations, for they have nearly completed their Trinity time. Let us bless this moment with prayer. Good and gracious God, we ask that you bless the seniors here who are approaching their graduation and their life as professional people, celebrating on this convocation day. Many are their gifts, their interests, their talents to share. May you, dear Spirit and friend, bless these seniors and their families each day, leading to and beyond graduation. May their futures be Trinity blessed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Ann. That was beautiful. We will be talking more about the 100th anniversary of Notre Dame Chapel later on today at our 4 p.m. liturgy. As Sister Ann spoke, I was thinking of the fact that in 1924, when Notre Dame Chapel was dedicated, the construction started in 1921, and in 1924 it was dedicated at commencement that year. And one of the women who graduated that year was Marcella McHale Seymour, as in Seymour Court, that you all know. And I was thinking how astonishing it is that I've known graduates across 100 years. I don't know if that makes me old or it makes the lifeline of Trinity long, but Marcella Seymour was one of the great heroines in the story of Trinity also. Also, we remember Sister Columba Mullally. Some of you may have read her history, the great purple book. Sister Columba, I know some of the alumni remember Sister Columba, who was the academic vice president back in the day, and she was the class of 1924 also. So they were all in that graduating class that were part of the dedication of this beautiful, beautiful chapel. We will also remember later today Mary Field Goubeau, a little younger, class of 1927, who gave so many great gifts for the restoration and care of this chapel. So we remember them all with gratitude and thanks, and I feel privileged to have known all of those women across the very short time that I've been involved with Trinity. Great women leaders characterize the strength and vision of the Sisters of Notre Dame and her co-founder, Françoise Blin de Bourdon, to the great leaders of Trinity, women such as Sister Berkman's Julia, Sister Mary Patrick, Sister Catherine Darthea, and our late beloved Sister Margaret Clayton. We are so fortunate to count among our faculty still Sister Mary Hayes. I don't know if Sister Mary is here, but Sister Mary Hayes, who is our archivist. There she is, she's up here. She continues to keep the history of Trinity alive and welcome. We remember, well, we just noted Sister Ann Howard, our campus minister, and Sister Camilla Burns, who teaches religious studies. We remember all of the Sisters of Notre Dame who have been here at Trinity, and please join me in giving thanks to the Sisters of Notre Dame. Thank you. Today, we also celebrate our alumnae, the love, loyalty, and generosity of Trinity graduates across 12 decades made it possible for our alma mater to thrive. We are deeply grateful to the Alumnae Association of Trinity and the nearly 15,000 alumnae and alumni of our many programs today. To bring greetings on behalf of the Alumnae Association, I am so pleased to welcome another great Trinity leader, Vice President of the Alumni Association, Morgan Carrillo, class of 2013. Morgan is a licensed clinical social worker, currently working with Community of Help. Morgan, please come forward.
Thank you, President McGuire. Good morning, Blue Class of 2025. It's so great to see you. As a fellow Blue Class sister, today it is truly my honor to congratulate you on this incredible achievement on behalf of your Trinity sisters and brothers around the world who have come before you. 12 years ago, I sat where you do now. I can easily recall how it felt to be both celebrating everything it took to get here and also somewhat anxiously anticipating the sprint ahead to graduation. As we gather today to celebrate your achievements, it's also important to acknowledge the journey that's brought you to this point. Each of you has faced your own unique struggles and challenges throughout your time here at Trinity, and it's essential that we honor that. The path to graduation is rarely a straight line. Whether it's balancing academics with working full-time, navigating parenting while in school, or coping with personal hardships or life events that make it difficult to focus, each of you has shown remarkable resilience. You have persevered through late nights, countless assignments, and perhaps a few moments of doubt. Yet here you are before me in your beautiful caps and gowns, ready to embark on these next few months before graduation. Your determination to overcome whatever obstacles you face speaks volumes about your character and your strength. It's a testament to your ability to adapt and thrive in the face of adversity. Each challenge that you faced has shaped you into the people you are today, and those experiences will serve you well as you venture into the world beyond Trinity. As you go through these next few months, I encourage you to stay engaged, share your successes, and offer support and insights to your classmates. Say yes when you can, embrace every challenge, celebrate all the achievements, big and small, and remember that it's okay to reflect on the struggles too. They are a part of your story, a part of what makes being here today even more meaningful. Embrace the lessons learned and the growth that has come from navigating these difficult times. Today, we celebrate not just your academic successes, but also the resilience, perseverance, and courage you've demonstrated. You are equipped and capable of facing whatever lies ahead, and your experiences will only strengthen your resolve. You are joining the ranks of incredible women and men who persevered through their own struggles to graduate from Trinity and are now making an impact in communities all around the world. Know, if you don't already, that you are capable, qualified, and worthy of being in any space that you enter. As you join our Alumni Association, know that you are joining a community that understands, values, and respects your unique journey. We are here to support you as you continue to navigate life's challenges and celebrate what we know will be your many wins. Congratulations once again, and welcome to your senior year. On behalf of the entire Alumni Association, we are so very proud of you.
Thank you, Morgan. We're so glad to have Morgan in alumni leadership. Thank you, Morgan. Great intellectual and academic leadership is essential to sustaining Trinity's excellence. Our provost, Dr. Carlota Ocampo, is an exemplar of that excellence and steward of the quality of our academic programs. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Carlota Ocampo, our provost.
Thank you so much. Thank you, President McGuire. Great Blue Class of 2025. I am absolutely overwhelmed with emotion to see your greatness and to think about not only the contributions that you've made while you've been here at Trinity, which have been many, but to think about the potential and the things that you're going to do in the future. I have such high hopes for us because you are. Today, for the first time, you don the uniform of the scholar. You earn the privilege of wearing caps and gowns as college seniors. How many of you wondered, why do we have to wear these things? Hands, anybody ever wonder what is this all about, right? So what do these caps and gowns and robes signify? Well, the tradition of academic dress originated in the medieval institutions of Europe, where people wore different uniforms or outfits to signify their status in society. Caps and gowns were worn year-round to confer a special status, scholar. So once a person was a scholar, they wore their cap and gown, and they wore it all the time, as you now can. They identified these caps and gowns, they identified those devoted to the life of the mind and to forwarding human knowledge, human goodness, ethics, and discovery. Today, the college student uniform is more likely, what? Sweatshirts and jeans, if we're lucky? But at Trinity, the time-honored cap and gown tradition confers your right to wear these outfits that signify the specialness that you are all year, from now into graduation as you choose. The cap and gown is an outward symbol of achievement, but there's another way that we, your faculty, advisors, other students, administrators, identify you. At Trinity, those who've reached senior status have become leaders. It's part of our curriculum. It's part of how we develop together. You're leaders in campus, you're leaders in your courses, you're leaders in your families, in your communities, and you're leaders as thinkers among the youth. Trinity seniors carry themselves with the confidence and authority they've earned by persisting. What do great women do? They persist. And you know what I'm talking about. You all have persisted, right? Through countless hours of what? Study, research, exams, papers, community service, experiential learning, extracurriculars, labs, simulations, need I go on? You have persisted, and you've done it all. You know, a first-year student once observed to me in the hallway, you know, you can tell who the seniors are around here just by walking down the halls of Trinity. You can tell because the seniors have a certain something about them, a certain je ne sais quoi, right? A stature and a polish that's palpable. So with or without your caps and gowns, we know you are seniors. And we know that you're well equipped to go and embark on living not only your best life, but to help those around you live their best lives. You're soon to be college graduates. It's very exciting, right? And now, class of 2025, remember for a moment when you first arrived at Trinity, like so many here are remembering when they first arrived at Trinity and they sat in these seats, and reflect on that journey and think how you've distinguished yourself. We all have faith that you will distinguish yourselves as Trinity graduates just as the classes that have gone before you. In the not too distant future, I will be calling your name as you cross that stage, and I look forward to calling the name of each and every one of you at commencement. Continue to lift as you climb. I see you all wanted me to just go on talking. I love that. Thank you. But you know, it's not all about us. It's about these students, and we're going to invite some more folks to celebrate them. And I am going to introduce someone we all know, love, and respect, and that is our fabulous Dean, Sita Ramamurthy, the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Thank you so much, Provost Ocampo. Good morning, Blue class. You know, as Sister Anne mentioned, shall we take a moment? I want you to take a moment and look around you. How exciting is this that we are celebrating your senior status in this beautiful 100-year-old chapel. Senior year is a wonderful year. This is the last lap before graduation. And I'm pretty sure you can't wait to be done with those classes, assignments, and senior projects. And before you know it, you'll be walking up to receive that diploma. So make sure that you enjoy every single day of this last year at Trinity. And you'll be looking back on these days. And when you do, I hope you smile with happy memories. And now I'm going to share a story with you. A story that I heard a few years ago, and I love it. And I bet some of you have heard this before. So there was this daughter who was constantly complaining to her father that her life was miserable and that she didn't know how she would make it. She was tired of fighting and struggling all the time. It seemed just as one problem was solved, another one soon followed. Her father was a chef, so he took her to the kitchen one day and he filled 3 pots with water, okay, and then put them in a burning fire. And he let them boil, and once the 3 pots boiled, he placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second pot, and ground coffee beans in the third pot. He then sat down very silent, didn't say a word. The daughter was so impatient, groaning and moaning, and after several minutes, the father shut off the burner, and then he took out the potatoes, placed them in a bowl, took out the eggs, placed them in a bowl. He ladled the coffee out and placed it in a cup. He turned to his daughter and asked, "What do you see?" "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee beans," she hastily replied. So the father said, "Look closer, touch the potato." So she did, and then she noted that the potato was soft. He asked her to break an egg. She did, and she noted the hard-boiled egg. Then he asked her to sip the coffee. She did, and the rich aroma brought a smile to her face. "Father, what does this mean?" she asked. So the father explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and the coffee beans had each faced the same adversity, which is the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potato went in strong, hard, unrelenting, but in the boiling water, it became soft and weak. The egg was fragile until it was in the boiling water, and then the inside of the egg became hard. But the coffee beans were unique. After being exposed to the water, they changed the water and created something new. So what are you as the father? Turning to the daughter. When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean? So the moral of the story and my advice to you is that in life, things happen around us, things happen to us, but the only thing that truly matters is your choice of how you react to it and what you make of it. Always remember the coffee beans in the story and strive to change what's around you into something new and better than what it was before. Remember, you have the power to change what's around you. So congratulations, we are super proud of you. And I wish you the very best as you complete your senior year. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, please welcome your class advisor, Dr. Reva Burnham.
Good morning, Blue Class sisters.
Good morning.
So, it's an honor to be here with you this morning. I cannot believe it's been 19 years since I was sitting in your shoes, and I was so shocked by the number that I did the math over and over. I was like, is that correct? I graduated in 2005, which means that I am true blue, just like you.
Okay.
And when I thought about what to say to you this morning, I decided that I would pass along to you 2 great gifts that Trinity gave me. The first gift Trinity gave me was an intense love for literature. It was in these classrooms that I learned that great literature contains within it all the tools we need to live a good life. So this morning, I will share with you one of my favorite passages from the celebrated poet Gwendolyn Brooks's only novel, Maud Martha. In this passage, Maud Martha is reflecting on flowers. She would have liked a lotus, or China asters, or the Japanese iris, or meadow lilies. Yes, she would have liked meadow lilies because the very word meadow made her breathe more deeply and either fling her arms or want to fling her arms, depending on who was by, rapturously up to whatever was watching in the sky. But dandelions were what she chiefly saw. Yellow jewels for every day, studding the patched green dress of her backyard. She liked their demure prettiness second to their everydayness, for in the latter quality, she thought she saw a picture of herself. And it was comforting to find that what was common could also be a flower and could be cherished. You sit before me, extraordinary women embarking on a great journey. I commend you for the courage it took to get to this beginning. The courage to be a woman in a classroom, the courage to be a woman in a voting booth. Wait, let's start that over. You clap after that. The courage to be a woman in a voting booth.
Amen.
The courage to be a woman who dares to walk down paths that no one else in her family has yet traveled, holding a lantern so that the ones who come behind can follow. You are extraordinary, but your extraordinary achievements didn't happen by extraordinary means. You did not rise up from the sea foam on an oyster shell like a Greek goddess. No, you had many a dandelion day. Ponytails, sweatpants, and a protein bar library days. Late night sing-alongs in the dorm. Homework at the kitchen table alongside your children and their homework. Exhausted long bus rides home after your night shift. Math problems that felt like wild goose chases. And probably worst of all, unreasonable English professors who expect you to write the same paper over and over again. Lots of ordinary days and experiences. But what is common can also be a flower and be cherished. You enjoyed so many of those ordinary days here with your Trinity sisters and brothers. You did not rely on the fantasy of potential or the nearness of the finish line to deter you from the work of putting one foot in front of the other, day by day. Do not lose sight of the value of your dandelion bouquet, of the beauty of your day-to-day existence, because that, my Blue Class sisters, is what got you here. There are so many dandelion days between you and graduation. Continue to achieve your goals by choosing to do your work on ordinary days. That consistency is the key to long-term success. I promised you 2 gifts. I'm probably going to regret the second gift, I'm going to tell you. Trinity taught me the value of sisterhood, of community as a sustaining force. In honor of that, I offer you the most authentic expression of our sisterly love. If you know it, sing along. We love you, Blue Class. Oh, yes, we do. We love you, Blue Class, and we'll be true. When you're not with us, we're true blue. Woo! oh, Blue class, we love you.
Oh, Dr. Burnham. She teaches, she writes, she sings. Isn't she wonderful? I want to thank Dr. Rewa Burnham. She's just a wonderful member of our faculty, and I'm so proud of her as an alum. And you may know that thanks to Dr. Burnham, yes, cheer for her again. Thanks to Dr. Burnham, we have a fabulous grant for Humanities for Justice. She is working on transforming our humanities pedagogy so that students in all majors can experience the great ideals of humanities, learning and methodology, all with a focus on justice. Thank you so much, Dr. Burnham. Thank you. And I want to thank Dean Sita Ramamurti, who made me hungry, but also that was a beautiful story, actually, and we all want to be the coffee bean changing our environment, don't we? And Dr. Ramamurti has contributed to the change of Trinity's environment. She is the architect of our early college program and our dual enrollments programs so that we can do even more to make sure that our young people in the District of Columbia are well prepared for college by enrolling at Trinity even before they're in college, and that is just a great gift to the education of our students in the District of Columbia. So thank you, Dean Ramamurti, as well. All right, are you ready, seniors? Are you ready? Blue class, you sure? All right. The cap and gown tradition at Trinity began with the very first senior class on Sunday, October 4th, 1903. I didn't know that class. I was not here then, but I've read about them. They were the great class, a red class of 1904, actually. The tradition has evolved in various ways since that time, always with the same purpose: to recognize the significance of the academic accomplishments of our students who have achieved senior status, to welcome these seniors formally into that lifelong community of scholars with whom you will grow intellectually, socially, and spiritually for decades to come. And by robing our seniors in this powerfully symbolic academic garb, to create exemplars for other students, role models of achievement for you to follow. And with that, will the senior class please rise? The faculty assure me that each and every one of you have completed 88 credits successfully. Is that true? Have you all finished your credits, I hope? Okay. And that you are ready for membership in the community of scholars, which includes the privilege of wearing the cap and gown every single day for the rest of your lives. So, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I declare you seniors. Put on your caps. Put on your caps. And put on your caps. And turn around so your families can see you with your caps on. Turn around for your families to see you. Look at them. Aren't they wonderful? Those caps fit beautifully, don't they? I can see you marching around campus in your caps every day. You look beautiful, class of 2025. How about another cheer for the class of 2025? Yes. All right, please be seated. That was great. Student leadership has been a hallmark of Trinity's commitment to the education and advancement of women since our very first class, that red class of 1904. Today's student leaders follow in the footsteps of those pioneer women in helping to make sure that Trinity meets the needs of each generation. I am so pleased to recognize and introduce a great scholar, Senior Class President Florence Enrogi. Florence, please come forward.
Thank you so much, President McGuire, for a lovely introduction. We made it! Woo! Congratulations, class of 2025, this is such a lovely day to celebrate all of us. We made it. We are graduating seniors. This moment is a testament of our hard work and also the unwavering spirit that binds us together. Looking back, all those countless cups of coffee, all those energy drinks that we relied on, all those sleepless nights taken to study, and all those missed lunches because we had back-to-back classes. They were worthwhile sacrifices. As I prepared this speech last night, I had a moment of self-doubt, wondering if I truly belong here, whether I truly am worthy to represent y'all. But then I remember times when I sat at night in the deli, or at Payton, or in the library, or in the cafeteria, with my friends buried in books, wondering whether all this effort will be worth it in the end. And then I looked around and I realized that each of us has faced these moments, times of questioning, of struggles, and of growth. And each time we found a way forward together. That's what makes this day so special. It's an assuring day that we all belong here, that each one of us has worked hard to reach this point, and that we should celebrate that. Though there are times where we may be navigating uncertainties in our lives, whether it be the career, our studies, or even personal journeys, I want to also remind you that all these struggles are what shapes us individually and what makes us unique, and that we should embrace them. I would like to offer a special thank to our esteemed faculty, our friends and family, for being part of this day. Indeed, we wouldn't be here without your support. I would also like to thank our alumni whose journeys have shaped what Trinity is today. I would also like to give a big shout out to those of us graduating in the fall. Let us see your hand. We wish you all the best as you take on new adventures. Let us be the coffee of this world. And though you will be missed, we cannot wait to see the impact that you make in the world in your respective fields. And for the rest of us, all the best as well, as we take on the last milestone of our senior year. Let us support one another and celebrate our victories, no matter how small, because they're the things that shape our journey. Sorry, that was a handful. And let us make every moment at Trinity unforgettable. So let's cherish this joyous occasion and look forward to the incredible journeys that await each of us, because whether we like it or not, we have class on Monday. Thank you so much, and see you at 9 a.m. on Monday.
Congratulations, Florence. Isn't she great? Florence is so humble. She's a scientist, a biochemist. She's currently on a very prestigious fellowship at George Washington University in the laboratories, in addition to being a student here at Trinity. Congratulations. She's going places. Keep her name in front of you. She's going places, as will the rest of this class. Let's see, how many in the class are finishing in December and going to graduation in January? Okay, there's a lot of December graduates. And how many will finish in May and be at May graduation? Okay, there you go. And how many will finish next December and be at next December? Okay, there's a couple, all right. So we are happy to greet you as alums whenever you graduate, and we hope it will be soon, and I can't wait to hand you your diplomas. That is going to be such a triumphant day. So congratulations to you. Now, we have another great opportunity, another great set of awards to recognize. This year, actually 2 years ago, thanks to the generosity of the Evelyn Davis Foundation, we received a major grant to create what we call the newsroom. Some of the alumni saw the newsroom downstairs in Main Hall. Thank you, Sisters of Notre Dame, for leaving the refectory for us to convert to the newsroom. And then we were fortunate to hire the most wonderful director who had 35 years of experience with Catholic News Service, Mr. Chaz Muth. And Chaz took over this. He converted the entire space into the newsroom. He recreated the Trinity Times as a very excellent online publication. He recruited students whose writing is just brilliant. And then he went out to the Catholic News Association with students, and they won awards at the Catholic News Association, beating out other very prestigious universities to win awards. So Chaz, come forward. I recognize you and thank you, and you're going to present the awards to the students. Please welcome Chaz.
Thank you, President McGuire. Thank you very much. And I would love to take all the credit for that, but there are many people here at the university that really helped us create the newsroom and create what is now the Trinity Times in its multiple ways of telling stories. And all the ways, always in the digital form and that kind of stuff. Remember, I want you all to go ahead and get onto the website. It is at trinitydctimes.com. That is my little plug over here. Okay, so anyway, Trinity Washington University's student news organization, Trinity Times, did earn 6 2024 St. Juan Diego Collegiate Awards from the Catholic Media Association. And that was announced last summer at the Catholic Media Conference in Atlanta. The awards honoring excellence in student and alumni media for Catholic colleges throughout North America were presented to submissions published in 2023, the year that Trinity Times was relaunched. Trinity Times took 3 first places, 2 second places, and 1 third place award, competing against student publications from the Catholic University of America across the street, from Xavier University in Cincinnati, John Paul the Great Catholic University in California, Manhattan College in the Bronx, New York, Loyola University in New Orleans, DePaul University in Chicago, the University of Portland in Portland, Oregon, Fordham University in New York, and Spring Hill College in Mobile, Alabama, among many others. Needless to say, there was some pretty stiff competition. So, these are the awards. For the students who are here, please come up when I call your name. Trinity Times student journalists Kayla Higgs, Jasmine Marshall, and Jean-Kier Watts were given a 3rd place award in the Best Article About Faith on Campus category for their November 13th, 2023 story, Christian Fellowship is at the Heart of Trinity's Bible Study Group. And I have been told that Jasmine Marshall is here today. Jasmine, are you here?
Okay.
So it appears as though maybe I have some wrong information there. Okay. Well, anyway, congratulations to all of those students. Trinity Times student journalist Miriam Barcenas took home a 2nd place award in the Best News Reporting category for her April 13th, 2023 article, Campus Locks Down for Fall Shooter Alert. Miriam graduated from Trinity in 2023 and was unable to attend today. Trinity Times student journalist Lindsay Washington won a 2nd place award in the Best Article on Social Justice category for her December 11th, 2023 story, Trinity Nursing Program Bridges the Gap for Immigrant Students. And Lindsay Washington is here today.
There's Lindsay Washington.
Please give her a hand. So the rest of these awards were all first place awards, and the judges did add a note to all of these, and I am going to read them. Trust me, they're short, so it won't take all that long. Trinity Times student journalist Waleed Waite won a first place award in the Best Coverage of Culture and Diversity category for his July 1st, 2023 article, LGBTQIA Identified Students Say Official Group at Trinity Could Be Affirming. And as a result, a group did form. So anyway, in the judge's note, it says, quote, "This impressive piece delves into an interesting and relevant topic, offering excellent background information and extending beyond campus policies to discuss practices of other institutions." Waleed Waite was unable to attend today. Trinity Times student journalist Jessica Tumax was given a first place honor in the Environmental Journalism Award category for her August 28, 2023 article, "Microplastics Can Have Dangerous Impact on Water and Humans." And this is the judge's note on this. This is a carefully crafted and easily digestible piece discussing the impact of microplastics on the environment and its inhabitants. It highlights the presence of microplastics within our bodies, consumed through food and drink, and challenges assumptions about the purity of bottled water. You should think about that. So Jessica Tumax did graduate in 2023 and was unable to attend today. So here we go with Trinity Times student journalists, plural, Nina Payne, Corey Best, and Janet Platt took a first place award for Best Multimedia Package for their September 5th, 2023 story, "Trinity Newsroom Enters Its Second Year with a Growing Digital Presence." So the quote from the judges says that the website, article, and video effectively presented content factually and engagingly, offering multiple perspectives. The variety of clips was captured and integrated seamlessly, enhanced engagement. The article's layout was well executed with no distracting elements on the page. Excellent work. So Corey Best was unable to attend today, but we do have Janet Platt, who graduated in 2023 and is here today, right over here. Congratulations. And Nina Payne is here also, and Nina did graduate last May. Also Janet did graduate in 2023
But you came.
as well. But I do want to note that Nina Payne was one of Trinity Times' first journalists that came when we relaunched in 2023, and to date has written more stories than any other journalist at Trinity Times. Give her a big hand. Going into our next year, we plan to submit once again, and we are looking for another great award season. Thank you very much.
Chaz, wait, before you go, you won an award too. Don't be modest. What award did you win?
I won an award for, I got a first place in the Catholic Media Association. Thank you very much. That was for
First place.
it was
He's
for
very
a video I did for the National Catholic Reporter.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Chaz.
you.
How about that? What wonderful, wonderful achievements. Let me ask, our alumni are here. How many alumni worked on the Trinity Times, wrote for the Trinity Times when you were students here? Let's see. All right, there's some alums, yes. Well, I hope you get to see the newsroom if you haven't already. It's fabulous, and I thank you, Chaz. Thanks to our students for your excellence, because the excellence of our students makes it all worth it. So thank you so much. Now, On this festive occasion, we have a few more things, a few more people to hear from, and some important final messages. I invite the deans of our professional schools to offer their congratulations to our seniors. Among our students, we have, let's see, how many are from the College of Arts and Sciences in our class? How many are from the School of Nursing and Health Professions? Let's see. Oh, well, there's a group. That's a group. How many are from the School of Professional Studies? Let's see. Okay. All right. So you have to hear. And how about the School of Education? Let's see. How many early childhood education? Okay. So you want to hear from your deans also. You've already heard from Dean Ramamurthy from the College of Arts and Sciences. Please welcome Dean Bridget Noonan of the School of Nursing and Health Professions, Dr. Christine Carino-Gorawara of Education, and Mr. Thomas Mostowi of Professional Studies.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, President McGuire. I would like to add my well wishes to our faculty, our staff that are all around, our guests, and most importantly, our graduating seniors. I promise to be brief. I'm still reflecting on our symposium of yesterday. And for those that were able to participate in our Democracy on the Ballot, I hope you found it as fabulous as I did. In my reflection, I would like to leave you with my 3 takeaways from that symposium. And I hope you hear what I'm saying. So number 1 is please, 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 please use those well-honed critical thinking skills that your faculty have helped you develop to make well-informed, well-researched, and well-developed decisions. 2, continue your advocacy development with respect and empathy. And finally, and most importantly for me, know your why. So, as you begin this transition to a really, really exciting phase of your life, remember that when you use your voice, it is done with respect, intentionality, and as an advocate for your why. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Congratulations, seniors. We are all very proud of you. So like Dean Bridget, I was also inspired by yesterday's symposium, Democracy on the Ballot, and I hope you got a chance to hear at least some of it. The message that I heard in a lot of different ways throughout the day yesterday was that each one of us has the capability of changing our world for the better. And this is one of the core values of Trinity. If you drive down Michigan Avenue, you see our banners that say, Education for Justice. And we work for justice. We can do this in big ways and small. And this is to call back to Dean Sita's story. This is our way of becoming the coffee bean and making the environment around us better, the adverse environment better. We heard from members of Network, which is the Nuns on the Bus group, about making our voices heard, from writing letters to the editors to contacting our elected representatives. We heard from Washington Post columnist Jennifer Rubin about how individual action sometimes becomes collective action, how when one person speaks up, it encourages others to do so. We heard from Congressional Chief of Staff Chanya Johnson, a Trinity alum, that we should be the light in the process, serving as an example and supporting others to act. Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, also Trinity alum, the first and so far only woman to become Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, talked about her responsibility, the responsibility that she felt as a pioneering leader to create opportunities for other women to lead. And the author of our Trinity Reads book, Unbought and Unbossed, Shirley Chisholm, tells us that if no one makes those opportunities for us, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. And of course, we heard the consistent message, vote. If you can, vote. But we are called to work for justice, not just in the political realm, but in our day-to-day lives. If you're studying to become a teacher, yay. You work for justice when you spend extra time teaching a student to read. If you're studying to become a nurse, you work for justice when you listen to your patients and advocate for their needs. If you're studying business, you work for justice when you treat workers fairly and with dignity. You are set to achieve great things, and your actions have the potential to make our world better. As one of our Trinity students, Shakila Ali, said in the discussion yesterday about the upcoming election, it doesn't start or end with the president, it starts with us. So go change the world, class of 2025.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, welcome seniors, and especially to my students in the School of Professional and Graduate Studies. As President McGuire and Provost Ocampo have mentioned, this is an old ceremony based on ancient traditions, but you seniors represent the true 21st century college students. You're older, you're working, you have families, you've probably taken a few detours along the way. But Trinity's strength has always been adapting traditional goals and standards to the modern world, and you are perfect exemplars of that. But this is also a reminder that your hard work is almost at an end, that the light at the end of the tunnel is in sight, and all of your hard work is about to pay off, and you are ready to go out into the world and make the change. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Mostowi, Dean Gorawara, Dean Noonan. Thank you to all of our deans who work so hard. Thank you to our faculty. How about a cheer for the faculty for getting us to this day? Thank you, faculty, so much. So in a few minutes, we will go to festive luncheons. The seniors and families will go to Alumni Hall for lunch. Our alumni will go down to the Trinity Center for a festive reunion luncheon. But before you get to go, you get to hear one more Pat speech. So sorry about that, but you don't get to have lunch without hearing from me first. And our deans all made reference to yesterday's symposium, which is very much on all of our minds as we are just days away from the election. And so we continue to think about the theme, democracy on the ballot. It's just 10 days away. We're going to have what some call the most consequential election of our lifetimes. Well, yes, they also said most consequential in 2020, in 2016, and many years before. Every election is consequential. I think we heard Speaker Emerita Pelosi tell us that yesterday. Every election needs to be taken seriously and treated as a precious, sacred exercise in what this nation was founded to embody, the idea of democracy, the idea of citizen self-governance, the fact that we, the people, are the ones empowered to make the most important decisions for ourselves about how we will live, what rights and freedoms we will enjoy, the limits of government, and the type of communities we want to build together. Flawed as the founding of our nation was, as a real study of American history shows us, the idea of a group of citizens determining their own laws, their own governing structures, their own policies, and the futures that they would enjoy and their children and generations would enjoy, this idea was relatively new in the world 248 years ago at the Declaration of Independence and later on at the ratification of the Constitution. That world was largely governed by monarchs. In the ensuing 2 centuries of the great American experiment, around the world, we have seen democracies rise and fall. We've seen monarchs decline in importance, but dictators rising, taking hold of nations and committing terrible crimes against humanity. We've seen courageous resistors and indeed revolutionaries rising against the tyrants and dictators, bloody wars pitting freedom and justice against tyranny, terror, and human oppression. Across more than 2 centuries, we have seen America struggle with her own domestic and international challenges, from slavery to the Civil War, to world wars and other wars abroad, protests and ardent demands for civil rights at home, terrorism, both international and sadly domestic. When the strife was over, however, our flag was still there. This year, we watch with trepidation as various political and cultural forces clash and move over and under our landscape, causing rumbles and potential upheavals, threatening destabilization, raising questions of truth and veracity about what we are seeing and hearing, forcing people, most of us, who never really wanted this debate, to speak up, to mount the barricades, to proclaim positions on issues we thought were settled, issues we once took for granted. We hear that our very American experiment in democracy is at stake. We wonder if that's true. Will it be over in 10 days? We can't afford to sit on the sidelines to wait to see how the game plays out. We are all on the field. We will determine the final score for America. As Speaker Pelosi pointed out yesterday, democracy is not a spectator sport. You can't be on the sidelines. You are in the game. Your vote is your own. Nobody can tell you how to vote. Not me, not our teachers, not your supervisors, not your parents and friends. You go into the privacy of the voting booth, and the decision is all yours. What we can tell you, however, and what we who are your teachers have some obligation to help you to understand, is that there are values at stake in this election, and those values will absolutely affect all of your lives and the lives of your children and their children for generations to come. What are those values? Well, first and foremost, and always, the values of truth and integrity. At Trinity, we've had an honor code for over a century. You know, it's very hard to teach about honor these days with so much fake news flowing across our screens, with so many prominent figures all spewing lies all the time. And yet, we hold you to the high standard of always telling the truth. Artificial intelligence has only made this worse, whether it's images or voices or things that we get on our screens that are absolutely untrue, but somebody made them up. How do we know truth from fiction? We must be attentive, we must do our homework, we must delve into the real positions of the candidates, we must not get distracted by all the noise on X or TikTok or on broadcast news. We can't believe just what we hear on our see on our screens. We must delve into the truth. Related, from all that we can see and hear and verify through research of candidate positions, some of our most precious fundamental rights are at stake. The value of freedom of speech, which is bedrock in America. Freedom of speech gives life and wings to all of our other rights. As the late, great John Lewis said, and I quote, "Without freedom of speech and the right to dissent, the civil rights movement would have been a bird without wings," close quote. But some candidates suggest that they will punish dissent, even sending the military after people who disagree with them. Some candidates say they love the image of Adolf Hitler, who repressed everyone who committed terrible genocide. We have to know what that means in the values that we hold dear. Efforts to intimidate, repress, limit free speech are terrible offenses against our democracy and the most fundamental rights that we, the people, must protect. The sacred value of respect for human life and dignity is also at stake, a value that is foundational in Catholic social teaching. Now, there's a tendency in our political culture to make this about one single issue, an important issue, the issue of abortion. But church leaders, including the Pope, have insisted that we must consider the full range of issues affecting life and human dignity. They have also admitted that no political candidate gets a perfect score on the church's moral teachings, but still we must make good political choices with imperfect candidates. In an interview with Crux, an independent Catholic social media outlet, Washington's own Cardinal Wilton Gregory put it this way, and I quote from Cardinal Gregory: "Obviously, the reverence, the respect of human life is a dominant concern, and it has to provide the umbrella covering a whole range of concerns, beginning with the life of a child waiting to be born. That umbrella of respect for human life," he goes on to say, "also has to cover those who are fleeing their home nations because of fear, political, economic, or other violence, and they're coming to the shores of this nation, America, looking for some of the same gifts and potential that immigrants have always sought: a better life for themselves, a future for their children. It involves also the rights of those who are in prison. The right to life also involves the use of capital punishment that is really no longer justified," says the Cardinal. "The right to life involves the issue of poverty." He went on to cite the horrific violence in Palestine and Israel, the violence in Sudan and Haiti, and the violence on American streets, including the proliferation of guns, the racial injustice that causes so much grief, anger, and violence here. We might add concern for the rights of women, concerns for the rights of people who are marginalized. These are all part of the values that we consider when we think of social justice and the upcoming election. These are all issues that responsible citizens should consider in making their political choices. Ultimately, the choices we face are about what kind of culture and community we want to build, not just for ourselves and our children, but for our children and future generations. What are the characteristics and qualities of the leaders who can take us forward to those better places, where freedom and justice flourish, where compassion is a high value, where empathy is publicly expressed, where war and violence are rare, where human life is protected across the full range of life circumstances, where those in poverty and despair are not marginalized or neglected, but lifted up and held close as part of our obligation to be our brothers and sisters' keepers. And so, my Trinity sisters in the Blue class of 2025, newly vested in your caps and gowns, you now join a long line of Trinity alumni who have accepted the responsibilities of citizenship and leadership in your families and communities, cities, and indeed in our nation as well. You have obligations even as we celebrate your achievements with you. The cap and gown and diploma you will soon receive all come with expectations for your leadership for good in our society. And the very first act for the common good is to vote. I will say here, not to vote is not an act of conscience. To vote, you must vote. We urge you to vote. And the very first act of voting is to make a choice. It may be a hard choice. You may think long and hard about it, but voting is essential. If you're not eligible to vote, you can still participate through the education of others about the issues and values at stake, about the kind of society we want for current and future generations, how we reach the common good together. So go forth from this ceremony, proudly wearing your caps and gowns, as you proclaim the values of Trinity for truth and honor, freedom, justice, and we pray for peace for all people we encounter all of the days ahead. Congratulations, Blue Class of 2025. And now, as we conclude our convocation, I ask the faculty to rise, followed by the blue class. We will have a recessional. The faculty will recess first and down the sidewalk, and then the seniors will recess behind them, and then our congregation will follow. Thanks to all and congratulations.